pleasant day to each and every one of you, hospitality management students. Welcome to Tour 3, which is Tourism Planning and Development. For today's lesson, we are going to talk about practicing sustainable tourism development. So this will be our first topic this final term in Tour 3. So now let's begin discussing the topic. How would you define sustainability? So a while ago or on our previous discussions, naitanong ko na sa inyo kung ano ba si sustainability. So please bear in mind and later on, I will ask you again kung para sa inyo ano ba ang tinatawag natin na sustainability. So sustainable development conserves environmental, cultural, and other economic resources for future generations while still bringing benefits to the present generation. So dito sa lesson natin na to, we will talk about sustainable development or particularly sustainable tourism development. Dito kasi pag sinabi nating sustainability or let's say sustainable, hindi lang naman siya tungkol sa environment. So nakita nyo nga dyan, nakafocus din siya sa economic side, sa social side, sa environmental side, and even the cultural side of the country. So in here, we are going to talk about also yung continuity ng environmental and cultural treasures from the present and future generation. And aside from that, as we all know, ang sustainable development is ini-imply natin or let's say ina-apply natin sa lahat ng mga bansa. Pero nagkakaroon tayo ng problema with regards to the LDCs. So ano ba ma'am yung LDC na tinatawag? So these are the least developing countries. So bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng problema? Because sa mga LDC na to, ang kanilang main problem is the economic survival. How are they going to survive kung mismong yung bansa nila mababa yung ekonomiya, hindi stable yung ekonomiya? Wala silang sapat na income generation na nakukuha. And that's why sustainability is one of the main problem in their country also. So, ibig sabihin itong sustainability na to is hindi nila masyadong nabibigyan ng priority. That's why in our lesson for today, we are going to talk about various practices on how are we going to implement sustainable tourism. So an initial definition provided by the World Commission on Environment and Development in 1987 explained the concept in general terms that sustainable development is progress that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Kasi even before naman, pag talagang dinefine natin si sustainability, yes ma'am, we can use yung mga resources natin nowadays, but we have to make sure na meron pa tayong ititira para sa mga susunod pang henerasyon, that they can still be able to use these resources na hindi natin sinisira. So, another thing about sustainable development is that it is an idea that human societies must live and meet their needs without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. Ibig sabihin, we can live. Yan, pwede tayong mamuhay sa mundo na to, pwede natin gamitin yung mga resources na yan, but we have to make sure na hindi natin to sisirain. Para nang sa ganon, yung mga susunod na henerasyon, yung magiging families natin, 'di ba? So yung magiging pamilya ng mga anak natin in the near future is meron pa silang magagamit na mga resources. So we have here the Sustainable Development Goals that is set by UNDP. So ma'am, sino po ba si UNDP or ano po ba si UNDP? So UNDP stands for United Nations Development Program. So ang kanilang ginagawa is they are working with 170 countries and territories. So they are helping those countries to achieve the eradication of poverty and the reduction of inequalities and exclusion. So si UNDP, nakikipag-collaborate siya, tinutulungan niya yung 170 countries na to para malesen yung poverty. Okay? So, hindi naman basta mawala. Kumbaga, malesen, unti-unti mawala yung poverty sa mga bansa na to. So, they help those countries to develop number 1, policies, leadership skills, partnering abilities, institutional capabilities, and build resilience in order to sustain development results. So, si UNDP, nag-set sila ng 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So, number 1 is the no poverty. So, alam naman natin, pag sinabi nating poverty is the, ayun, yung kahirapan. So, ang poverty kasi is one of the greatest challenge na kinakaharap ng mga tao nowadays. At napakahirap din talaga na alisin ang poverty sa isang bansa. So, in here, ang ginagawa nila is they are involving or they are setting targets sa mga most vulnerable na mga countries or sa mga mahihirap talaga na countries. They are increasing yung mga basic resources and services and sinusuportahan nila yung mga communities na affected ng mga poverty, ng conflict and climate-related disasters. Number 2 is yung zero hunger. So, ayan, hanggat maaari sana walang nagugutom, walang mga malnourished na bata, walang mga namamatay na bata or na tao nang dahil sa gutom. So, the number of unnourished people has dropped by almost half in the past 2 decades because of rapid economic growth and increased agricultural productivity. So, in here, yung extreme hunger and malnutrition still remains a huge barrier to develop in many countries. So, yun pa rin talaga yung pinaka-problema ng mga nakakaraming bansa, yung extreme hunger and malnutrition. So, ang ginagawa dito ng Sustainable Development Goal is ang kanilang aim is tapusin, matapos yung hunger and malnutrition by 2030. So, today, or let's say this year is 2021, so they still have 9 years para matapos yung hunger. Although, walang assurance, di ba? Kung paano natin marireach, kung paano natin matatapos yung kagutuman, yung hunger na to sa lahat ng bansa. Pero si UNDP, they are collaborating with these countries, they are asking help, they are seeking help sa mga iba't ibang agencies. So, para magawa nila yon, of course, kailangan may sufficient and nutritious food all throughout the year. Kaya nga, di ba, sinusuportahan nila yung sustainable agriculture, yung mga maliliit na farmers na yan, para sila is magkaroon ng equal access sa mga land, and of course, yung technology and markets. Number 3, or the goal number 3 is good health and well-being. So, alam naman natin yan. We need to protect ourselves para sa mga unnecessary or let's say, sa mga virus ngayon na hindi naman natin nakikita pero hindi mo alam baka sa isang araw meron ka na. So, wag naman sana. So, in here, sabi nga ni UNDP, we have made great progress against several leading causes of death and disease. So, life expectancy has increased dramatically. Infant and maternal mortality rates have declined. We've turned the tide on HIV and malaria deaths have halved. So, ibig sabihin, dahil nga ngayon is moderno na, di ba? Kumbaga, andyan na yung mga technology, andyan na yung mga medical equipment, marami na mga medical facilities, marami na mga medical professionals. So, naiiwasan na natin yung tinatawag na infant and maternal mortality or yung mga deaths. So, noon kasi kapag panganak ng nanay, namamatay agad yung nanay kasi walang proper assistance or medical assistance na natatanggap. But nowadays, ayan, may mga hospital na tayo, may mga clinics and so on. So, mas nalilesen na siya. So, number 4 is the quality education. So, sa quality education naman, ang pinaka-target since 2000 is achieving the target of universal primary education. So alam naman nating lahat na marami pa rin talagang bata, marami pa rin talagang mga tao ang hindi nakakapag-aral nowadays because sa kahirapan. Kaya nga 'di ba, kung maiiwasan natin yung kahirapan, mawawalan din ng mga batang malnourished, magiging maayos yung ating kalusugan, at pag maayos ang ating kalusugan, pwede tayong makapag-aral. So in here, sinasabi nila na there has also been a dramatic increase in literacy rates and many more girls are in school than ever before. These are remarkable success. Kasi 'di ba before yung mga lalaki, so sila lang yung nakakapag-aral, tapos yung mga babae nasa bahay lang, kumbaga housewives, ganyan. So nowadays, even the girls, even the women can pursue their career. So in here, the goal is that to ensure that all girls and boys complete primary and secondary schooling by 2030. So yun ang kanilang target, na matapos ng mga babae at lalaking mga bata yung primary and secondary schooling. Kasi di ba nga, nowadays libre naman na sa mga public schools. So meron ka lang mga babayaran na ilang expenses, pero ayun, pwede naman na ding makapag-aral. So, dito naman, syempre, ang UNDP or kahit naman dito sa Pilipinas, nagpo-provide tayo ng mga vocational training, yung mga 2-year courses na yan, nagkakaroon ng elimination with regards to the gender and wealth disparities, and of course, na-achieve natin yung universal access for equality education. So, the goal number 6 is yung clean water and sanitation. But before that, let's go first to the gender equality. I'm sorry. So, in here, we are aiming to end yung tinatawag natin na discrimination against women and girls because hindi kasi yun tama. Kumbaga, wala yun sa human rights natin. So, we don't want other people to discriminate one another based on their gender. So, sinasabi dito that it is vital to give women equal rights with regards to the land and property, sexual and reproductive health, and to technology and internet. So, there are more women in public office than ever before, but encouraging more women leaders will help achieve greater gender equality. So, in here, iniiwasan din natin yung sexual violence and exploitation. So, number 6 or goal number 6 is the clean water and sanitation. So, ayan. So, iwasan sana natin yung tinatawag natin na water scarcity because it affects, according to the research, 40% of people. And it is also alarming. Yung wala tayong access sa clean water and sanitation. So, safe and affordable drinking water for all by 2030 requires we invest in adequate infrastructure, provide sanitation facilities, and encourage hygiene. Protecting and restoring water-related ecosystem is essential. So, goal number 7 is affordable and clean energy. So, sinasabi natin dito, we are expanding yung mga infrastructures natin, nag-upgrade tayo ng technology, para na sa ganon is makapag-provide tayo ng clean and efficient energy sa lahat ng mga bansa. At kapag nangyari yon, we will be able to have a growing environment. So, number 8 or goal number 8 is decent work and economic growth. So, dito sinasabi natin na ang SDG, so they are promoting sustained economic growth, higher levels of productivity, and technological innovation. So dito, ini-encourage yung tinatawag na entrepreneurship and job creation. So yung pag-create natin ng mga small businesses na yan, yung pag-create natin ng mga jobs na pwedeng applyan ng mga tao, so nakaka-contribute tayo sa economic growth. So next one is the industry innovation and infrastructure. So in here, so ginagawa nila is more than 4 billion people still do not have access to the internet, and 90% are from the developing world. Bridging the digital divide is crucial to ensure equal access to information and knowledge, as well as foster innovation and entrepreneurship. So dito naman, ang pinaka-key natin is we have to invest sa mga infrastructures na yan, sa innovation, because ito yung mga, kumbaga, drivers natin para ma-reach natin yung economic growth and development, as well as yung technological progress. So number 10 is to reduce inequalities. So dito ang binibigyan natin ng emphasis is with regards to the income, yung kita. So income inequality is on the rise. The richest 10% have up to 40% of global economic or global income, whereas the poorest 10% earn only between 2 to 7%. Imagine ninyo yung mga nasa least developing countries, yung mga tao na walang, let's say, educational achievement, yung hindi sila makakuha ng trabaho, they're only earning 2 to 7%. At masyadong maliit yon para ikaw is makapag-provide sa family mo. So, ginagawa natin dito, we are improving the regulation and monitoring the financial markets and institution. Ini-encourage din ng UNDP yung development assistance and yung foreign direct investment sa mga regions o sa mga bansa na nangangailangan. And then, goal number 11 is sustainable cities and communities. So, sabi dito, making cities sustainable means creating career and business opportunities, safe and affordable housing, and building resilient societies and economies. So, it involves investment in public transport, creating green public spaces, and improving urban planning and management in participatory and inclusive ways. So, dito naman gusto natin na yung mga cities na to, due to the rising population and increase of migration, we want these cities to be developed para na sa ganun ma-accommodate pa niya yung mga tao. Para na sa ganun hindi magkaroon ng overpopulation. Kaya nga dapat may proper allocation lahat ng mga resources. So, goal number 12 is responsible consumption and production. So, dito naman sinasabi natin na with regards sa food, ayan, sa pagkain at saka sa security. A large share of world population is still consuming far too little to meet even their basic needs. So, gagawin nga natin dito is we need to have an efficient production and supply chain. So, ini-encourage natin yung mga industries na yan, yung mga businesses, yung mga consumer, na dapat magkaroon ng responsible waste management, di ba? To recycle and to reduce waste is very important. And then, goal number 13 is the climate action. So, sa climate action naman, syempre, wala namang bansa ang hindi nakakaranas ng climate change. But then again, syempre, yung mga greenhouse gas emissions na yan, since 1990 pa, nagkakaroon na ng problema sa ating climate change. And of course, yung global warming at yung iba pang mga natural disasters. So, ginagawa dito ni United Nations Development Program is that they are supporting vulnerable regions para magkaroon sila ng sapat na climate action. So, yung mga regions, yung mga bansa na talagang prone sa mga natural disasters is talagang tinutulungan nila. And next one is the goal number 14 is the life below water. So, dito naman pinag-uusapan natin yung mga oceans, yung mga yamang dagat, na wherein magkaroon sana ng global systems that will make the earth habitable for humankind. So, ang aim ni SDG dito is to sustainably manage and protect marine and coastal ecosystem from pollution. Kasi alam naman natin ngayon, yung mga dinamita na ginagamit, yung hindi maayos na pangingisda, is naapektuhan talaga yung ating mga marine life resources. So, number 15 or the goal number 15 is the life on land. Kung merong life below water, meron din namang life on land. So human life depends on the earth as much as the ocean for our sustenance and livelihoods. So dito ang ginagawa natin, the urgent action must be taken to reduce the loss of natural habitats and biodiversity, which are common heritage and support global food and water security, climate change mitigation and adaptation, and peace and security. So dito, dapat natin protektahan yung ating land, especially the biodiversity, yung mga species na meron tayo. Kasi nga, di ba, nagiging extinct na sila. Kumukonti na lang yung mga species na meron tayo. Yung mga wildlife animals na yan, kumukonti na sila because of the improper, or let's say, because of the actions na hindi tama ng mga tao. Yung mga evil deeds, di ba? So, medyo naaapektuhan yung mga living organisms sa land. So, goal number 16 is about peace, justice, and strong institution. So, in here, ang aim ni SDG is to significantly reduce all forms of violence and work with governments and communities to end conflict and insecurity. So, dito, pinopromote natin yung rule of law and human rights. Para na sa ganon, maiwasan natin lahat ng mga problema, maiwasan lahat ng conflict between the people in the countries and between the different countries. And the last goal of the UNDP for Sustainable Development Goal is the Partnership for Goals. So, ang aim dito ni UNDP is to enhance North-South and South-South cooperation by supporting national plans to achieve all the targets. So, we are going to promote international trade. Tutulungan natin yung mga developing countries para magkaroon ng increase yung kanilang pag-export. And of course, yung equal or let's say fair trading system para lahat ng tao is makapag-benefits, lalong-lalo na yung mga businessman. Para lahat sila magkaroon ng sapat na benefits, hindi yung isang side lang yung nagbe-benefit. So in here, nagkakaroon tayo ng coordination and collaboration with other countries. So those are the Sustainable Development Goals developed by the United Nations Development Program. So it says here that it took only common sense to realize the importance of conserving the very resources that made tourism possible. So minsan nane-neglect natin, or let's say, hindi natin pinapansin yung mga ginagawa natin sa ating environment. At alam naman natin minsan na itong mga bagay na to is mali na, pero we are disregarding it. Kaya ang nangyari sa huli, naapektuhan talaga yung turismo. At alam naman natin that tourism is one of the greatest contributor sa ating economic growth. Tourism is an integral part of the sustainability of the national economy. Sustainable tourism conserves non-renewable and fragile resources and dictates a balance between economic and social responsibility. So dito sinasabi natin that tourism is an integral part. Pag sinabing integral is importante. Kumbaga tourism should not be disregarded, it should not be taken for granted because si tourism ang isa sa nagbibigay sa atin ng kabuhayan. So, kumbaga si tourism ang isa sa mga bumubuhay sa nakararaming Pilipino, sa nakararaming tao all over the world. Kaya nga sinasabi natin dito, sustainable development is about ensuring the future well-being of the people. At ang concept ng well-being is subjective. Bakit subjective? Kasi we are looking for individuals. We are focusing sa mga individuals sa society at sa mga generation pa na darating. And in order for that to happen, we must conserve yung ating mga resources, protect them, and of course, practice sustainability. So the next one is the indicators of sustainable tourism. So ano ba yung mga sinasabi nating indicators dyan, or the principal indicators of environmental sustainability? Number 1 is the extended national accounts. So yung mga indicators na to, ang in charge sa kanila is the World Bank and the United Nations. Next one is the biophysical account, which is yung mga ecological footprints, carbon footprints, redefining progress. Ang in charge dito is the World Wildlife Fund, which is ang ginagawa nila is they are measuring yung mga productive land and sea area para na sa ganon makapag-produce tayo ng enough food and as well as energy. So those energy, ito yung mga renewable and mga non-renewable resources na kinoconsume ng mga iba't ibang klaseng tao among the countries. Next one is the equally weighted indices. So dito naman is yung in charge yung World Wildlife Fund and yung World Economic Forum. So basically ang ginagawa nila dito is they are measuring yung Living Planet Index and the Environmental Sustainability Index. So dito ginagawa nila is they are conducting an assessment sa population ng mga animal species na located sa forest, sa freshwater, and sa marine environment. Next one is the unequally weighted indices. So dito naman in charge yung sinasabi natin na environmental pressure indices. So for example, sa Netherlands, they are setting aggregate indices or measures for a specific environmental pressure. So ano yung mga environmental pressure na yan? Paano nila ma-measure? Paano sila magkakaroon ng indication? So ito yung mga emission of mga greenhouse gases. So yung pagbubuga ng mga factories na yan na hindi nakakatulong sa ating atmosphere, hindi nakakatulong sa mga tao living within the community. So, next one is the eco-efficiency. So, ang in charge dito is the World Resources Institute. So, they are aiming for the total material flows that underpinning economic processes. So, yung pag-flow ng mga resources, yung pagdaloy ng mga resources, nagagamit ba yan ng tama? Na, let's say, nakokonsume ba ng tama yan? Na i-distribute ba ng tama? And then, the last one is the indicator sets. So, ang in charge naman dito is the United Nations Commission for Sustainable Development and many countries. So, those are the principal indicators of environmental sustainability. So, next one is we have the growth policies for sustainable development. So, ano ba yung mga tatlong alternative na mga policies na pwede natin i-adopt para tayo is magkaroon ng sustainable tourism development? Number 1 is simultaneously address environmental, social, and economic issues of growth on equal terms, placing a higher priority on economic growth while giving less emphasis to environmental and social issues. And the third one is placing higher priority on restoring the environmental and accelerating social change over economic issues. So to summarize everything na sinasabi dito sa mga alternative growth policy is that sustainable tourism development plays a variable role or important role pagdating sa growth policy approaches. And in here, ang pinaka-concern natin talaga is to alleviate the poverty rather. We need to alleviate, we need to eradicate yung tinatawag natin na kahirapan. Because from that, we can promote tourism. At kapag na-promote natin yung tourism ng maayos, na pinapractice natin lahat ng mga practices such as yung sustainability, ibig sabihin, magiging maayos yung takbo o yung flow ng ekonomiya ng isang bansa. At syempre, sabi nga natin, domino effect yan, pati yung environment, yung society, yung culture, di ba, yung technology is magiging maayos din.